Oh,
Can't get that boomer tech to work, can you?
oh, wow! Right at the last moment.
I know. I know, right at the last moment.
Wow. A lot of people already ditched this stream, I think. So I guess just
Oh
feel.
well.
What's going on, Jim? How you doing?
Oh, I've been mining salt all fucking day on Twitter. God damn, the British are fragile people.
Oh man, it's been great. And I can't. I kind of feel bad a little bit because my wife, she's actually British, but she's taking
Well,
it a lot
nobody's
better.
perfect.
Yeah. But Brexit. I mean, it's going well. At least they can fall back on that, right?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, great things to look forward to. They can put Nigel Farage's award for Brexit right next to the World Cup. Oh, uh, never mind. Knocked out by Croatia. Oh, wasn't it like
Croatia.
60 minutes into the game before the fucking Croatia? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't watch it. It's funny when I started shit talking about it. A lot of very mad Europeans, very upset. They're like, "Oh well, where did America qualify?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking to myself, well, we excel at every other sport. We have to give you faggot something. And besides, when you think about like the World Cup, it took every country in the world to come together to play a sport for us to even acknowledge it might exist. But I guarantee you, they're familiar with the term Super Bowl,
Oh yeah.
NBA playoffs, all of that shit. Fucking Stanley Cup, they know it. But no, man, oh, they were fucking furious today. So I've just been enjoying that. I've been enjoying the shit out of that.
They were
Did
already
you see?
planning the victory too. Like they were, I literally, and I shouldn't. I know my wife's probably. I don't know if she's still watching it. She might get mad, but she was literally talking about. I was thinking about the victory parade, and they were already football's coming home and stuff. And it
Oh,
just,
it's coming home. No, it's not coming home. Did you see
uh,
the tweet from Twin Kingdom?
I don't think I saw it.
It's like a domestic abuse thing, and they I don't I it's probably the worst timed thing I've ever seen a domestic abuse like PSA thing ever put out. But it said,
Oh,
if England gets beaten,
yeah,
so will she. Domestic violence increases 26% when they play, 38% when they lose.
I actually did
And
see
so,
that. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm throwing out a little line there. I post a picture, and then I said, "Why do Englishmen beat their women?" Well, if you watch the World Cup, you know they obviously can't beat men, and they got offended by that. So I don't know. Maybe learn to play footy ball better.
That's where football, whatever you want to call it, was invented. There in England, and they just can't get it done, man.
Teaches the world how to play sports and loses at every sport they taught them. That's the state of the British, I swear.
What about the French national team, or should I say the African super team that they have there for France? I don't know if you saw
Now,
that.
listen, I think Ungalak is a really classic French name, and I think that that's a pure Frenchman. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, must be my bigotry. Or Papa John's. What did you think about that?
Oh, that was some funny shit. Yeah, I was watching that. That was good. How does that happen? How are you, how are you asked to step down from the company you fucking made? Like, what is that shit?
But the thing is, first off, how did that get out? He's talking to a PR firm. And he's like, I wish it was like the good old days. And Colonel Sanders could say nigger whenever. Like, what's the deal here? And somehow that gets released to the press. Obviously, he didn't do a lot of good screening there for his public relations company, I guess.
No, see, now I missed some of the streams. Because before your stream started up, people were like,
Yeah.
"Dude, you need to go check out
I was going to ask you
you,
about that, too.
you,
Yeah.
you need to check out Warski stream. You need to see what's going on right now." And it's like, okay, whatever. I got a few minutes to kill because you hadn't started yet. And the moment I jump in, it's him crying with his clothes off and like Lord of the Ring music or some weird music in the background, and people, like 30 people, screaming at each other. I had no idea what the fuck I walked into, and then people like posting gifs of him like lighting his nipples on fire.
Yeah, he did that. And I think Enoch came on at one point, too. And he did a headstand. And I don't know. It was pretty strange, I have to
Well,
say.
you two have a real competition going. Okay,
Yeah.
Andy's willing to go like the jackass route. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like he's going to do some self harm to get those viewers. Now you, on the other hand, are probably going to do some prison time when Corinne gets murdered in Compton. But that's going to be an excellent stream, and I think Live Leak is going to be very jealous of the first YouTube execution ever broadcast live on the 14th. Everybody remember to tune in for that. It's going to be a doozy.
July 14th. It's looking like around 5 p.m. Eastern or so. We're going to nail that down within the next day or two.
Oh, the thing getting nailed down is going to be her coffin lid after she walks around a bunch of black people. It's not going to be pretty with the TTS going.
Now, you saw her bodyguard, right? Mr. Ice, I believe she's calling him.
Oh, yeah, no, I love her asking him for advice. She's like, what do I say around the black people so they don't butcher me when I go to the ghetto? Now, if that guy has any sense of humor, he's going to tell her to say the absolute worst thing, and he's going to be like, if you want to calm black people down, they love sign language, and then convince her gang signs are a way of saying hello.
Yeah, I talked to her, and I said, with this text, I was just trying to be real with her. I said, this text-to-speech thing, I'm not sure if you actually want to do that, because it might. I can expect.
She's not going to resist the money. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, there's going to be so much Moon Man and other shit getting played while she's walking through.
Well, I told her, I was like, the types of things they're going to play. She's like, yeah, I know. I'm pulling. And she said a couple things I won't repeat. And she's just like, I'm all good with it. So.
Now, have you picked out a route? Do you know what exact neighborhood she's walking through?
Nah, we haven't picked out the route yet. She's actually been on my ass to pick out the exact route and the exact places we want her to go. We haven't picked them all out yet. I'm gonna do that tonight and tomorrow. Try to map her route out. She also wants to come up with a list of questions. So if you have any questions, you want.
Well, I mean, here's the sad fact. I know Compton's a shithole, and it's the closest one to her, but my knowledge of their gangs kind of died in the 90s. There's not really any more gangster rap anymore, and there aren't any more Lifetime TV movies. So I don't know what gangs are running around down there. I think MS-13, and I think the Bloods and the Crips, and Latin Kings aren't around anymore, at least not in that area. So I don't know what color she should be wearing and who she should be pissing off, but it's going to be, I hope people... Oh, you know what? There's there's from 2006 up on YouTube, there's a fucking rap song by the Blood Street Gang. I'm going to probably TTS that to her to make it play while she's walking around a bunch of grips. So that should be fun.
Now, you saw that map. There's a detailed gang map that shows all the different neighborhoods that's split between Bloods and Crips. So I was going to try to map out.
Yeah, I felt like I was playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. They're their territory. Who am I going to take over first?
It looks exactly like that. I don't know. It could be great, or it just could be. I don't know. I guess my biggest fear is that it's going to be boring. So.
Oh, I have a feeling it won't be boring. Yeah, because let me see here. The 14th, that's a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So she's walking around the ghetto on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to be boring. I have a feeling it's going to be quite entertaining.
Yeah, that's another reason I picked. Well, for one, a lot of people are off on Saturday, so I figured we, might get more people to watch. But also, there's just more activity in the fucking ghetto on a Saturday.
Well, if she survives this, you should make it a thing. I think that you should start sending her out to other shitholes, Detroit, Michigan, Gary, Indiana, Dearborn, Michigan. Because each one has their own little flavor. And their own little segment that's going to get really pissed off by a socialite walking around in high heels saying that she's there to save them.
We could send her to Clearwater, Florida to investigate Scientology, too. That might be...
she'd probably end up joining the cult. She's a bit ditzy. I don't think she'd survive that.
I don't know. She might already be a member. Maybe I should ask a lot of people there in Hollywood.
Now, your chat is being unfair. Jerry Siegelbaum. Jim wants Corinne dead. No, I want good entertainment. Now, if she dies in the process of that, well, that's just art.
Well, you tried to get baked. You tried to get Baked and Andy to do that, right?
And they wouldn't. So
they said they were going to, and then they...
Yeah, a 50-year-old used-up socialite from California is going to do what 3 20-year-old men wouldn't do. Just let that sink in.
Maybe that might be a way for them to come back and have a comeback if they tried it. I don't know.
No, I think Asian Andy would have done it because I've heard he's done it before, and he really doesn't give a fuck. So I think the roadblocks are really Andy and Baked on that one.
I think so too. I've seen Asian Andy. I don't think he would back down from it. But they ended up walking through. It was I don't even know. It was some tourist kind of shopping district. It wasn't that.
Oh, it was nothing but suburbanite, rich white kids. Yeah, that kind of shit. Yeah,
it wasn't that risky. So I don't
know. I was going to say earlier, I don't know what you covered throughout the entirety of your show. Did you see the Tencent thing with the Wii game launch?
Yeah, I actually did. I saw you tweeting about it too. What did you have to say about that? And we talked about that while you were on. I don't know if it was when we were on Scratch Points channel.
It's
or
like
not.
it's like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
I was talking about Tencent muscling into the gaming industry, and now here they are launching a rival platform. The thing that I find interesting to compete with Steam is, and I don't think what people are really factoring in, is Tencent owns a majority of shares in a lot of companies and holdings in a lot of others. So they're kind of in a power position where if they open up their own gaming platform, to sell games, they could do what EA did with Origin and pull games from Steam so they're not available there. Or they could take massive discounts just to fuck over Steam sales and drive, people, foot traffic over to their online shop front.
Well, because they wouldn't be really worried about making money when they're trying to get into the industry. They would just, they could undercut. Undercut. Yeah.
Their market capitalization or valuation or whatever, I think it's like $500 billion. Like the guy that founded the company's worth $50 billion on his own. Like it's a massive fucking company. I mean, they could piss away money and not really give a shit. So they could do some damage. I mean, if they actually launch something that's not complete shit, and they just go out with the end goal of fucking Valve into the dirt, it might actually be kind of interesting because a lot of those new AAA titles, those are all Tencent funded. Those are all Tencent backed.
Yeah, their founder, Hu Tang, whatever, Wu Tang.
That's right. That's right, white boy. Say that.
He's worth what, $45.6 billion.
A crazy amount. Crazy amount of fucking money. He was up on Forbes or Wall Street Journal, whoever does the list of the richest fucks in the world. He was on there for a little while. But yeah, and I mean they've already got. I mean, WeChat is huge. QQ is huge. So they've got two massive social media platforms with like 1 billion users each. So they're used to having a lot of traffic. So I think that they will go into this and they'll be able to build something competent. It's just going to come down to what software titles can they offer and what pricing is there going to be available. And people will be like, oh, they're going to data mine you. They're the Chinese. Everybody's data mining us at this point.
That's true.
You're
on the internet, you're
fucking you right now. Yeah. So
only way to get away from that is to go off the grid, and even I don't even know if it'd be hard to even do. Like there's so many things watching you, and go into a store. They're doing profile. I don't know. It's
what did you think of the Donald Tusk thing? The EU president warning Trump.
I don't think I saw his exact quote. Now I saw Trump went in there and was just immediately started shit talking.
The day before. Yeah, the day before he went in there, he said, "Appreciate your allies. You don't have many." Like that sounds so just cuntish. Like what was he expecting? Trump was going to go into the NATO meeting and be like, "Oh yeah, you guys are totally right." I love that he went in there and was like, "Fuck you."
I see this. Yes, dear America, appreciate your allies. This fucking ad came up. They're trying to sell me a Nissan. Shut up. Dear America, appreciate your allies. Yeah, after all, you don't have that many. You know what? Why would Trump say anything positive about these people? They were slamming him and shitting on him before he even... God damn it, Nissan is fucking persistent. Before he even, won the election. Like, before he was even the nominee, they were putting out things like, oh, Trump's dangerous, Trump's this and that.
Everybody was. I mean, remember...
the UN, the human rights guy at the UN was fucking trashing Trump even, so...
Yeah. Prince Alawi to win or whatever it was. Yeah. The guy that owns stock in Twitter was like, "Oh, renounce your nomination. You're a shame." And he was like, "Goofy Prince Tullawin's never gonna own me" or some shit like that. But yeah, no, they do that a lot. I like that he went in there and I've noticed Trump likes to try to handle countries like their companies. And one of the real big tells with that meeting was when he was kind of shitting on them and like, you need to pull your weight more and pay more. And, Germany's a bitch for Russia, and he's going through his whole spiel, is like in the middle of that while they're all getting offended by it. He just kind of stops and says, I think my meeting with Putin's going to go much easier later this week. He's going in with a hard negotiating tactic and basically saying the guys that you're, the company, right, the company that you're scared of, I'm going to talk to them later this week. So you'd better do what I say, or we're going to fuck you. By the way, the guy I'm talking to next week gives you all your oil and gas, Germany, so shut your fucking mouth.
I thought it was brilliant, and people just keep they just don't really get what he's doing, but I thought it was good. By the way, Tencent, we read this out I think when we talked about Tencent a few weeks ago, but I don't know if everybody saw that. Some of the stakes they hold, stakes in Activision Blizzard, Epic Games, what else? Paradox Interactive, even they got a small stake in that. Ubisoft.
Riot they own completely.
Yeah, Riot they own completely, so yeah, they definitely have some stuff going on. I see Corinne's in the chat, and she says, I don't even know if I should bring this up, but she says, Mr. Metokur, I want to have a threesome with you and your boyfriend, Ben. That was another thing she had been saying, that your boyfriend's Ben Garrison. I guess somebody told her that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Corinne. You go ask Ben Garrison. He's on Twitter. You go ask Ben Garrison if you can have a threesome with his boyfriend and see how that works out for you.
Yeah, you definitely should do that. He draws cartoons, Corinne. You should look into that. What else? There was something else I wanted to ask you. Oh yeah,
I know what you want to ask me about. Pegasms. I know it's the hottest topic that everybody's talking about.
You know, I meant to Google that. I saw it on your Twitter, but I didn't read the actual story. What is that exactly? Like, what is?
You know, okay. Have you ever gotten like? Well, of course you have. I have too. So don't take it as an insult. But have you ever gotten really drunk and you wake up the next day and it feels like you've got to piss, like you're going to explode if you don't take a piss?
Yeah.
And you know that like momentary like sensation, that shiver you get, like where you're like, oh my god, you know what I mean? That's a pegasm.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay. Where it just feels so good because you're finally getting a piss. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so these dumb bitches, right, are drinking a shit ton of water and then they're refusing to go to the bathroom because they want to have a pegasm that feels kind of like a solo orgasm. And then all the doctors are like, are you fucking retarded? You're going to get like cystitis and kidney damage and urinary infections. And so I'm just waiting for like, you know, BuzzFeed and Salon and all the other shitty fucking outlets are going to write stories where like pegasms are destroying women's kidneys. And here's why that's a good thing. You know, they're going to try to wrap it up like this is some empowerment shit because a bunch of chicks don't want to take a tinkle.
See, I didn't actually know that that's what it was. Okay, I mean, I guess that makes, I don't know.
That makes sense. No, don't say that.
I was about to say it makes sense. At
no,
least I know
it's horrible.
But at least I know what they're talking about now. I'm sitting here thinking, wow, how does that, like, what is this? Anyway, what else? What about the?
Well, I cut you off. You said you were gonna. You remembered what you wanted to talk.
Well, I was gonna ask you about the Croatian Nazi tweet. I didn't realize that. It seems like that's something that a salty loser would say, basically about.
Oh, but yeah, they're so fucking. Are you talking about the England team, where a multicultural group of young players and Croatian team had a literal Nazi?
Yes.
Yeah, they're so fucking mad. Like today was the best. Even like on SP, like the sports board and shit. It was fun as hell. But yeah, I've noticed this. You know, Europeans, but specifically the British, cannot handle being made fun of. Like if you start banter with them, they flip the fuck out. That's not funny. That meme is dead. These jokes, they're bad. And every time you look at the location, UK, London, England, they just can't fucking handle getting shit on. I don't know how the Australians haven't figured this out yet. I'd expect a bunch of Aussies to descend upon them and make them cry on the internet, but who knows?
I mean, the English are supposed to be world famous for their comedy and, you know, talking all this shit. And, yeah, not a great look.
No, you're looking at ever since that video, woo, god damn, they've been a little bit ass pains with me, which just makes me more interested. It's like any group you poke, the angrier they get, the more you want to poke them.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, it's just like that's basic 101. What else? There was one more thing. Yeah, I guess just further thoughts on the Warski thing.
Well, I didn't even get to watch it. Like I tuned in and watched maybe 2 or 3 minutes of people screaming, but it was just like weird. Like he's got his head shaved and he's naked and he's crying. And then people start sending me gifs of him lighting his tits on fire and doing headstands. And I don't know what the fuck is going on.
That's the part that got me. I was actually watching for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden he pulled out a lighter and he started lighting his nipple on fire.
Was he having this is like a bad trip or something? Like was he?
Well, the whole time this was happening, there were people in the background, and like he had background music shit playing, but there were people on Discord just arguing over who doxed who, and it's just nobody even cared. You know, obviously nobody cares about this except for the people arguing. And I guess we saw some of that on the ABS stream that you did, where it's just like, what are you even talking about?
Well, no. What I meant was like, did he like take a hit of acid before?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that was some speculation.
And then everything went wrong.
I don't know. I think maybe he was trying to just do some entertainment. I don't know. It was a little strange. I'm trying to be charitable, but it was fairly strange. All right, I did see you mentioned doing a video. I think we're awaiting it. What do you have a preview of that? Is that the Internet Insanity one you were gonna do?
The Insanity one goes up on the weekend. I'm just throwing up a small one. Yeah, I had some family shit come up, so I was kind of gone for like 3 or 4 days. So it kind of fucked my schedule up a bit. But yeah, no, the Insanity one's coming up on the weekend. For all you speedrunning fans, you'll you'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah, so we had Mike Enoch on last night, and he was asking. I guess he wanted to like come on stream with you or something, and then there's people in the chat were just like, Jim's dead. He's not, something happened to him, and I said, nah, I just think something came up or whatever.
How did Enoch's appearance go?
Oh wow, I don't know if you saw any of that, but basically, so the first hour and a half, we just talked about topics, kind of a standard thing, and then there was a really dedicated segment of the audience who they're convinced that he's a Jew, and so basically
because of the ex-wife thing, yeah.
Yeah, and since so like the next half hour after that was just people calling and calling him a Jew, basically calling him and then him going back and forth with them, and yeah, so it was about an hour and a half of that, and then towards the end we just kind of did more of an interview. But yeah, it was wild. It was pretty wild. We went 4.5 hours last night, and a good, I don't know, 2.5 was just people arguing about him being a Jew. So
yeah, well, I mean, at least he engages with it. Because you do call-ins, yeah. So yeah. He had the people, or was this just from chat, or were these callers calling in and saying,
No, it was call-ins, and I actually asked him. When I emailed him, I didn't really mention the call-ins, but before the show, I said, well, we could do the call-in, but obviously
you bamboozled him, didn't you, you motherfucker?
Well, maybe a little, but he just said, yeah, okay, I'm fine with it. I said, well, what's gonna happen when we open up the lines. There's a lot of people that want to.
See, now you need to offer a chronology for this. What I imagine happened is you set it up with him, and then he shows up, and the show's going to go live in 2 minutes, and you're like, oh, hey, geez, do you want to do a call-in? And he's like, I guess that's okay. And then like 30 seconds before the show starts, you're like, they're going to talk about how much of a kike you are. Okay, we're live.
So. Hey, it was about 10 minutes before the show started, to be fair, but yeah, that is kind of what happened. But he was totally down for it. I didn't make him. If he would have said no, I would have said okay.
No, yeah, I'll have to go check that out. It should be entertaining.
Yeah, he was totally down. He's down to come back too. So, I guess if any of you are listening and you want to call him a Jew again, well, we can do that probably. So, all right, man. I think that's about it. Thank you for coming in and helping me close down the show. I appreciate it.
Oh, your chat's yelling here. They're saying you wouldn't let
oh yeah,
Beardson dive in on Enoch.
Yeah, Beardson came in late, and we had already spent 2.5 hours, with the Jew thing. And some people were really going crazy to let him in. Mike was pretty much done with the calls, and it had already been done. So,
well, yeah, I mean, fair enough. If you've done 2 hours of it,
well, it wasn't. And I actually talked to Beardson later, and he was a little pissed about it. But he said he wanted to challenge him more on political stuff, and not just to come in and call him a Jew and all that stuff. But I mean, he took a lot of calls, a lot of hostile calls, so it's not like we protected him or kept him away from critics. It was kind of just more of it's already.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I can respect that. I kind of remember when Sargon went on the Kumite, there was like special conditions. There wouldn't be any call-ins. You know what I mean? So if he's willing to take the heat from the audience calling in and shitting on him, more power to him.
Yeah, I know Sargon had like 15 conditions or something about going on the Kumite, but yeah. All right, Jim. I'll be looking forward to the videos. Hopefully, you'll be around for the Compton stream on Saturday to witness my.
Oh no! Are you fucking kidding me? You think I'm gonna miss this? You think I'm joking? I know what's gonna happen. That she's gonna die, Ralph, and you are gonna be front page news for facilitating that.
I mean, she's doing this of her own volition, Jim. They can't blame this on me.
Her last words to the paramedic as they haul her off with her gunshot wounds is gonna be, "I work for the Ralph Retort." Before the blood foams up in her mouth and she can't speak anymore.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man.
I just like to state that I have no business affiliation with the kill stream, the Ralph Retort, or Corinne. I'm just a passive observer in this. I'm a good boy and I haven't done nothing.
Just for the record, it's good that you got that out there. I'm glad
just,
you're legally indemnified. Yes.
Yeah, because I know that hate watch article's a fucking coming, so I'm gonna be nice and safe. I don't want to get banned from Israel, man. So that's where my rabbi is. What am I gonna do?
Exactly. All right, man.
All right. Well, you take it easy, man.
Thank you. You too.